It entered our solar system from a direction no natural object should logically take, not plunging randomly through space like dust drifting between stars, but instead crossing the orbital planes of Venus, Earth, and Mars with unnerving precision, like a guest choosing its path instead of being dragged by gravity. Astronomers named it 3I Atlas, the third confirmed interstellar visitor ever detected. But unlike the two before it, this one did not provoke debate. It provoked silence. Immediately after its discovery, small observatories attempted to measure its brightness curve. What they found was neither comet-like nor asteroid-like. Instead of chaotic flickering caused by tumbling motion, the Atlas brightened in near-regular intervals, subtle surges of reflected light repeating in fixed timing, as though some part of its surface was intentionally catching sunlight on a rotating cycle. Comets do not pulse. Machines do spectral analysis raised further questions. Standard cosmic debris contains predictable ratios of iron and nickel, forged together in ancient stellar explosions. But 3I Atlas defied that rule. Nickel lines were detected, strong and clear, yet iron was mysteriously absent or suppressed. In metallurgy, such separation implies refinement, not randomness. Nature produces alloys in ratios. Engineering selects them, and then there was its trajectory. Every known interstellar object to date has behaved like a wanderer, entering, curving around the sun unpredictably, then exiting on whichever gravitational slingshot path chance dictates. 3I Atlas did the opposite. Its path was so clean, so mathematically obedient to gravity, that astronomers struggled to find even minor perturbations. If it contained volatile material, like comets do, solar heating should have caused jets of sublimated gas to push it off course. That never happened. It traveled as though it were either completely inert or actively adjusting for drift. Under normal scientific procedure, these anomalies would be publicly dissected. Papers would flood academic databases, interviews would circulate, speculation would bloom. Instead, public commentary stopped almost immediately after early observations were logged. NASA provided no formal briefing. The European Space Agency released no analytical bulletins. China's National Space Administration, usually fast to broadcast discoveries for national prestige, remained utterly silent. Tracking data that had appeared briefly on public databases vanished without explanation. No denial, no confirmation, just absence. And in scientific culture, absence is rarely accidental. Some astronomers privately admit that 3I Atlas is the first interstellar object whose behavior fits neither natural nor artificial classification, but sits disturbingly between them. A rock does not pulse. A comet does not glide smoothly. A derelict machine does not emit vapor. A functioning probe does not drift aimlessly. Yet this object appears to do all of those at once. Some scientists have suggested that 3I Atlas could be a fragment, perhaps the remnant of a larger structure eroded by millions of years in transit. But fragments do not choose efficient entry paths. They do not maintain stable acceleration curves. They do not emit metallic spectral lines inconsistent with known formation models. And most importantly, they do not inspire coordinated silence across every major space agency on Earth, because that is precisely what has happened. Normally, when an unusual object appears in the sky, astronomers compete to be first with analysis. They speculate publicly, publish rapidly, even argue in interviews. Ego drives disclosure. Prestige accelerates publication. But in the case of 3I Atlas, ego has disappeared from the equation. Institutions that compete for headlines, NASA, KESE, CNSA, Roscosmos, ISRO, are behaving not like rivals, but like allies under restriction. It is as if someone, somewhere, issued a pause order, not to stop observation, but to stop interpretation. There is precedent for this kind of restraint. During the Cold War, communication protocols were drafted quietly among global observatories regarding what should be done if an unmistakably artificial signal were detected from space. The agreement, though never officially acknowledged, stated that no single nation should make a public declaration before international verification. It was less about secrecy and more about stability. A premature announcement of extraterrestrial intelligence could trigger chaos, politically, religiously, militarily. If confirmed, it must be announced carefully and collectively. Atlas sits in that dangerous gray zone. Not confirmed artificial, not confirmed natural, but unstable enough to fit either conclusion. And so the safest strategy is silence. Meanwhile, astronomers continue tracking it quietly. Though many public databases no longer display real-time coordinates, archived sky survey data reveals its projected path. 3i Atlas is currently on outbound trajectory, heading away from the inner solar system. Within months, it will grow too dim for optical tracking. Radar will no longer be able to sweep it. Infrared detection will fade into background noise. If answers are not found now, they may never be found. There is an uncomfortable possibility that scientists rarely admit. What if 3i Atlas was never meant to be detected? What if it is not broadcasting, not scanning, not signaling, simply existing, and we just happen to notice it for the first time? Humans often assume that contact with extraterrestrial intelligence would be deliberate. A message sent, a ship landed, a signal beamed at us. But the universe does not bend to human expectations. Contact may not come in the form of conversation. It may come as collision with indifference, the discovery not that we are special enough to be addressed, but that we are irrelevant enough to be ignored. Atlas could be a remnant of something ancient. It could be a probe functioning on autopilot long after its creators vanished. It could be a resource container, a seed vault, a discarded machine. Or it could be something beyond our current framework entirely, neither rock nor ship, neither alive nor dead, but part of a technological ecosystem older than our species. And if that is the case, no agency wants to be the first to say it aloud. There is a question quietly circulating among a select group of astronomers, not in press interviews or public lectures, but in private conversations, off-record emails, and late-night conferences where no recordings are allowed. The question is not what 3i Atlas is, it is what humanity is supposed to do about it. If the object is natural, then the silence is excessive. Science should be shared. If the object is artificial, then the silence is strategic. Information should be controlled. In either case, the public is not being informed. And that means one of two possibilities. Either the experts are afraid of being wrong, or they are afraid of being right. There is no official doctrine on how to respond when an object of unknown origin passes through the solar system without explanation. Science fiction assumes governments would rush to intercept, redirect spacecraft, initiate communication attempts. Reality is far less cinematic. We do not have the technology to match or pursue such an object. Even our most advanced probes, Voyager, New Horizons, Parker Solar Probe, are primitive compared to something potentially engineered for interstellar endurance. If 3i Atlas is technology, then it is older, stronger, and more efficient than anything humanity has ever built. If it is debris, then it is debris from a civilization, so advanced that its trash can cross star systems intact. That realization alone is enough to freeze institutions. The most likely scenario is that 3i Atlas will leave our cosmic neighborhood without ever changing course, without transmitting, without responding, without acknowledging our presence at all. It will vanish the same way it arrived, silently, indifferently, untouched. But what will remain is the aftershock of realization. Because from this moment on, scientists will no longer be able to claim that interstellar visitors are rare. They are constant. We simply failed to notice them. There may be dozens crossing through our skies every year, most too faint, too fast, or too quiet to track. With better instruments, we will find more. Some will be natural, some will not be, and one day, one of them will not pass through. It will slow down. It will adjust course. It will wait. When that day comes, humanity will be forced to decide whether it wishes to be a witness or a participant. For now, 3i Atlas continues its departure, a silent trajectory through the solar winds, gliding with regal indifference as if obeying physics not as a prisoner, but as a partner. It offers no answers. It offers no threats. It simply exists, and in doing so, it has already changed everything.